be late. I told her not to worry about it. No rush for me, so none for her. I'd open the gym and then leave whenever she made it in. I'd gone downstairs with a cup of coffee in hand and unlocked the gym office. There's a keycard system that allows members to come and go 24 hours a day, but Grace, my manager, works the 9 to 5 in the office and at the cooler. We make most of our money off energy drinks and protein shakes, granola bars and vitamins, not the monthly membership dues. There were 2 women on treadmills and 1 man lifting weights when I opened the office. Our typical crowd. One nice thing about working out at my gym, you never have to wait on the equipment. Good for the members, bad for me. I checked the locker rooms to make sure there were fresh towels and found Grace had taken care of that the previous night. I was on my way back through the weight room when I saw the cops standing just inside the office. 2 of them, neither in uniform, but I caught a glimpse of a badge affixed to the taller one's belt, a glint of silver under the fluorescent lights that made my eyebrows narrow and my pace quicken. "Can I help you?" I stepped into the office. Neither one was familiar to me, but I couldn't pretend to know everyone at the department, especially now, a few years since I'd last worked there. "Lincoln Perry?" "Yes." The one whose badge wasn't clipped to his belt, a trim guy with gray hair and crow's feet around his eyes, slid a case out of his pocket and opened it, showing a badge and identification card. Harold Targent, Detective, Cleveland Police Department. I gave it a glance, looked back at him, nodded once. "Okay. What can I help you with, Detective?" "Call me Hal." The taller one beside him, who was maybe 10 years younger, lifted his hand in a little wave. "Kevin Daly." Targent looked out at the weight room, then back at me. "You mind shutting that door? Give us a little privacy?" "My manager's late. Don't want to close the office up until she gets here, if that's okay." Targent shook his head. "Going to need some privacy, Mr. Perry." "That's serious," I said, beginning to feel the first hint of dread, the sense that maybe this had nothing to do with one of my cases, that it could be personal. "Serious, yes. Serious the way it gets when people die, Mr. Perry." I swung the office door shut and turned the lock. "Let's go upstairs." To their credit, they didn't waste a lot of time bullshitting around without telling me why they were there. No questions about what I'd done the previous night. No head games. Instead, they laid it out as soon as we'd taken seats in my living room. "A man you know was murdered 2 nights ago," Targent said. "Heard about it?" My last contact with the news had been the previous day's paper. I hadn't seen that morning's yet, and I get more reliable news from the drunk who hangs out at the bus stop up the street than I do from the television. I shook my head slowly, Targent watching with friendly skepticism. "You going to tell me who?" I said. "The man's name was Alex Jefferson." It was one of those moments when I wished I were a smoker, just so I could have something to do with my hands, a little routine I could go through to pass some time without having to sit there and stare. "You remember the man?" Daly asked. I looked at him and gave a short laugh, shaking my head at the question. "Yeah, I remember the man." They waited for a bit. Targent said, "And your relationship with him was, a little adversarial?" I met his eyes. "He was sleeping with my fiancée, Detective. I spent 2 hours working my way through a 12-pack of beer before I beat the shit out of Jefferson at his country club, got pulled over for drunk driving, got charged with assault, pled the assault down to a misdemeanor but got canned from the department. All of this you already know. But yes, I suppose we can say that my relationship with him was, a little adversarial." Targent was watching me, and Daly was pretending to, but his eyes were drifting over my apartment, as if he thought maybe I'd left a